Hey there, my fellow lunatics, and welcome to Dakon's Madhouse. Have you ever wished your ranged attacks in Corekeeper could just be ridiculously fast? Like, automatic weapon level fast? Well, with the upcoming Abiotic Factor update, we have a build, even a couple of various build options that very well could give you exactly what you're looking for. The weapon that this build revolves around is the new Quill rifle, which you get at the new Abiotic Factor scene, which is coming out very, very soon. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, it'll be already out. This weapon has 4 attacks per second for its attack speed, which is the fastest ranged weapon in the game. By itself, it's already an extremely fast rifle, but we're going to make it even faster. Currently with this build, the fastest I was able to get it without any kind of buff food is 126% range speed, which means we are talking about approximately 9 attacks per second when this weapon is firing off at full speed. That's pretty good. Now, how did we get it there? Well, first we used the Atlantean Worm Helm. This can be found obviously off of the Atlantean Worm, and it's adding almost 21% ranged attack speed. And I'm wearing the Gemstone Garment, which adds an additional 19% ranged attack speed. It can be found in locked Solarite chests, as can the Gemstone Harem Pants, which give us an additional 17.9% ranged attack speed. Now, the Lantern, there's really nothing that gives you any kind of attack speed boost, so I just went with the Pearl Lantern for the movement speed. Use whatever you want. Then we've got the Polished Octarine Necklace, which adds an additional 10.5% ranged attack speed. Offhand doesn't have anything for ranged attack speed, so I went with range damage boost. The Skull Ring gives me a 16.5% ranged attack speed, so I went with 2 of those. And then the bag, there's nothing for attack speed there, so I just went with the Octarine backpack. My pet currently gives me a 15% boost to my ranged attack speed as well. From a skills standpoint, the only thing that matters for ranged attack speed is actually in the summoning tree and its power in numbers, which gives you a 10% boost to your ranged attack speed per active minion. Now, this build doesn't give me any extra minions, so that's going to be a 10% ranged attack speed boost, as I'm just going to use a Tome of Ashes here and summon 1 minion. Now, you could use any tome you want, it really doesn't matter, it's just the goal is to get 1 minion out for that extra 10% boost. Otherwise, you could use a pretty standard setup for your various skills. Everything that you see here popping up onto the screen is what I'm currently using. And really, you can customize it as you see fit. I've gone with both well-trained aim and power of Omega 3 on the fishing tree to give me that extra boost to my range damage. But how you put your skills together is really up to you. The last thing worth noting is that the Soul of Omeroth, with its 3% chance on ranged hit to spawn a tornado, is going to be really interesting since we're going to be hitting with range damage real quickly, so I expect this to proc a lot. Fully buffed up, I'm doing 156.8% with 537 to 655 physical range damage. Let's see how it does against the core commander. Overall, I would say that this build as is, with a focus entirely on attack speed, is pretty effective. I'm really happy about it. However, I think that we may be able to do a little bit better if we cut out some of the attack speed and instead add a little bit of range damage. So I'm thinking that I sacrifice an okay amount of attack speed by swapping out the mold vein necklace for the polished octarine necklace, and then using a polished gold crystal ring instead of one of these skull rings, just for some extra damage. I'm also going to swap out the gemstone harem pants and replace them with the God Sent King Pants armor for an extra chance to spawn those Ormoroth tornadoes. I'm sacrificing about 50% of my ranged attack speed here. However, we're still above 100% ranged attack speed, which means we're getting about 8 attacks per second instead of 9 to 10 attacks per second. Still pretty good, but let's see what it changes with that extra damage. Holy crap, look at all those crits. I think sacrificing the attack speed for the extra damage is absolutely worth it. It makes this build... It doesn't really detract from the speed of this build, but it does add significantly to the damage of this build. And look at all those tornadoes piled up on top of each other right there. Whoa! Okay. So there we have it, guys. We got a couple of different ways to do this build, but personally, if I was you, I would go with this one where it's just not quite as fast. We're only sitting at 117% ranged attack speed at the end here. But the amount of crits that you're doing, the amount of critical damage that you're doing, and the amount of tornadoes that you're spawning absolutely make this worth it. So the mold necklace can be found in the mold dungeon, obviously off of various creatures like that. The polished gold crystal ring is craftable, and the God Sent King Pants armor are probably the hardest item to find, as you find those in one of the scenes in the Desert of Beginnings. And there you have it, folks. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button to help give the video a little bit of a boost. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the bell notification so you don't miss any of my regularly released content. But we have more. If you want to support the channel a little extra, you can become a channel member to get exclusive membership benefits like early access to my videos, exclusive members only content, a members only Discord community, and more. So thank you all to my current and future supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you all for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay crazy, my friends.